Hey guys, Alex G for 62 here, and I'm sure that everyone in the movie community has heard the really sad news that happened today. On this day, April 4th, 2013, famous film critic and journalist of the Chicago Sun-Times, Roger Ebert, has passed away at the age of 70. I don't like to talk about deaths on YouTube that often because sometimes I just feel like it's not really appropriate at times. There's just something about it that... Another part is that a lot of famous deaths, they get me sad, but they don't really affect me that much. Roger Ebert is one of these exceptions. Because he's a film critic, I'm someone who wants to go into being a film critic as a profession. He left such an impact on me that I feel like I need to address why I became a film critic and what influence he left on me and many others who want to follow down his path. And I also figured I'd share some of my other influences. First of all, before I started reviewing movies back in the summer of 2012, I wanted to major in acting. I wanted to go into being a theater major. But then I saw two movies in 2009 that ultimately changed my mind about what I should major in. The one was Avatar, and the other one was surprisingly Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I know it sounds really, really weird that one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life would be one of the motivations for me to change my major from theater to film. But that's where Roger Ebert comes in. Whenever I would watch an episode of At the Movies, whether it was with Gene Siskel or Richard Roeper, I always notice how Roger Ebert, how passionate he gets when he talks about movies. Whether it's in a positive way or a negative way, he would always show passion and love for talking about movies, even to the point of getting into arguments with other people. When Transformers 2 came out, I spent probably 5 days to an entire week getting into discussions with my brother, my family, and other people about how I thought it was an incredibly bad movie, why I hated it, and it really got me passionate. When I saw Avatar, I couldn't take my mind off it for a whole 6 months. I loved it that much. I saw it 6 times in the theater, and all of them in 3D, and 3 times I saw it in IMAX 3D. Hell, I argue with my roommate about the American Godzilla. I know people who go to this school that get into arguments with their roommates because they hate each other. But I get into arguments with my roommate over the dumbest things. Why do I get into a discussion about a movie with my roommate? And why do I constantly drag it out? Well, because I'm passionate about what I do. You even see some passion in my later reviews and top 10 lists, and I owe all of that to watching and reading what Roger Ebert has to say. And if you hear anything, my other roommate is back here. Some other influences that I want to point out are made me become a film critic. I have to go to Spill.com and 2 YouTubers, Tom Chattelbash and Jeremy Johns. I look at them for comedic touches in my reviews, and the fact that I use YouTube to get my opinions out there. But I realize that in my later reviews, they aren't all that funny. In fact, most of them really aren't funny at all, and don't even have a slight comedic point to them. But they're more informative than they are actually funny. And I feel that out of all my influences to go into being a movie critic, Roger Ebert is the one that left the biggest mark. While I try to crack a funny every once in a while in my reviews, I'm really more straightforward and really explain my reasons for liking or disliking a movie. Roger Ebert, whenever he would review a movie on his shows, he would never try to make a joke. He was always serious, he was always honest, and he was always right straight to the point. There are points and even some whole reviews that I don't agree with him, and many others that follow him don't agree with him. Like, I don't agree with him when it comes to his thoughts on the original Godzilla movie, but he makes his points so thorough that I can really see from his perspective why he doesn't like it. Those are my reasons why I decided to become a film critic. why I aim to make it a profession, and basically how Ebert contributed to that. My hearts go out to his family and those closest to him, and thank you for influencing so many of us who want to follow in your footsteps. And Roger Ebert, you get a big thumbs up. Tomorrow I'll post a review of a movie that I absolutely love and really demonstrates my passion and love for movies in general. But for now, I have some catching up to do. So thank you guys for watching this. Rest in peace, Roger Ebert, and I will see you guys later.